Evidently, we had a mouse problem. Okay, go ahead. Stop. I want to hear the story, how this happened.
So for Christmas, I got my dad his car that he bought brand new back in 1971. It's a pretty incredible story.
We're going to pick it up next month.
Yeah. Are you serious? Bought this car brand new. That was a 71 Chevelle Super Sport. I'll rebuild it. She's home. What we need to do is rig up. I don't want to cut this line, but we got to rig up a line that fits in here that we can run a container to for gas. Mice or something had broken a wire from the coil to the distributor, to the points in the distributor. And that wire wasn't giving us power to the points to break the circuit in the coil. So without pulling the distributor, we couldn't replace that wire correctly, which I'll pull it next week. But just to get it to attempt to start, we ran a wire through where the vacuum advance linkage goes to the distributor. This is the vacuum advance right here. And that's got a flat link that goes into the distributor to advance the timing as the engine runs and so forth. This wire on here right now, I'm going to strip this back and put a wire end on here. Get in the right position, give it a squeeze. And that's got that. And that hooks in there, and this tightens up. So now, we should have power to the points. So our next object is to get a battery in here and see if we can get the starter to crank, and we will then attempt to start the vehicle. All right. Okay, we'll hook the battery positive lead up first. This just takes me down memory lane. Used to do this for a living, and now it's for fun. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is just to see if it's going to crank. So I'm going to stick my face down here and observe the fan. Okay, go ahead. Stop. If it doesn't gear in, you don't just hold it there. The starter turns, but the starter drive is not geared in. It's now we might have to pull that starter off. I did check the transmission while you were gone, and it does have fluid in it, even though the pan here looks super wet. The cooler lines look okay going up to the radiator. They're dry. The oil pan looks dry. Here's the starter. It's only 2 bolts. We'll try to bump that starter and see if it'll free up that Bendix starter drive. And just tap it a couple times. You have to put it in park, remember. There you go. Try it again. No, you don't have to take the starter off again, I guess. I'm doing this before we take the starter down to take this cover, which exposes the torque converter and where it also the ring gear on the flywheel. It worked too well. There we go. Yes. Now we're spinning it. Go ahead. Yes. What we did was successful. Boy, once we get this body off this frame, it's gonna look like a race car. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Crank it over. It runs.
It runs.
By George, go ahead. Good. Perfect. By George, there's life in this puppy. Didn't misfire. It was running on all 8 cylinders. Yep, both of them worked. I'll bet you the taillights even work. Well, we didn't need the fire extinguisher. Safety never hurts, but I'm happy. It runs. There's life in this whole thing. I would bet you $1 to a donut, and we could get this thing to drive down the road today.
You think?
Ain't gonna happen. I'm done. I'm done messing with it today, but I'll bet you we could. I'll bet you, I trust myself enough to know we can do it. Yep. The next step is basically, I think I'll take the battery back out of it tomorrow or whenever, and then we'll get the seats out of it, so we can get to all the floor panels and get the body off of it, and then we can start really assessing the situation.
All right, day one, that's a wrap.
It is. It's a done deal.